morning, everyone. All right, so we are back. I do apologize about Thursday. I've been out sick, unfortunately. But either way, I'm here. We're back. Let's go ahead and continue to move forward and let's pick up with where we left off. We have been, of course, talking about database mastery, just to make sure that we're on the same page for those of you guys that are joining us on all the other platforms. First off, welcome. So those of you that are joining us over, excuse me, on YouTube, of course, Facebook and Instagram. I'm going to encourage you to come join us over here on Zoom. It gives us the opportunity to be able to interact a little bit better. Unfortunately, Lizette is out sick today, so it is just me today. And if you guys have any questions, my team will get those questions over to me. So, Andrea, if you can do me a favor, Lizette's going to be joining us today. If you can please, forward the questions over to me. All right, so let's go to get started. Let's talk about database mastery. Who's in our database? Let's break that down because I know some of you just peek your head in from time to time. There's five key categories. Number one is our past. Number two is our family. Number three is our friends. Okay. And number four is associates. Okay. People we do business with out in the community. Think of a dentist, doctor, lawyer, dry cleaner, salon, barber, auto mechanic, dog sitter, all these people. The fifth one is your vendors, people that help us in our real estate business. And that's going to be escrow, attorney, title, lender, home warranty, roofer, plumber, electrician, termite person. Those are your five categories. Okay, that's who basically should be in your database. Now, we also have to remember that our database is the absolute gold mine. Okay, when I'm working with a coaching client and I do get the good fortune of helping them double, and in some cases, believe it or not, get them to quadruple their business, well, the number one source that we're most able to take a bigger bite out of is this one, which is a database. And the reason for that is simply because of the fact that every single last agent that I coach has a version of database. I get it. Some of you just relocated, some of you just got started in the business. But if you look at your phone, you go through it and you start to see that you have 132, 475, 815 contacts in your phone. You have people already there. Okay. You just don't know it or you don't have it organized. And I'm going to help you guys put that all together throughout the rest of this month. I do want to do a quick little invitation for those of you guys that are in the LA area. I'm going to be in LA two times, actually, once next week. And that is going to be at Century 21 Lotus. Okay. And that's going to be over in Downey, I believe. I apologize. I'm pretty sure it's in Downey. And then the second one is going to be over in Whittier, and that's going to be for NAREP South Bay. So I'm going to be speaking at both of those places. So next week will be Tuesday. Okay, that's going to be at Century 21 Lotus, and then the week after that it's going to be on Monday. Okay, and that's going to be Monday evening. If you want more information, feel free to go ahead and send us a DM. We'll get you guys more information. I literally just booked these over the weekend. All right, back to database. We know that 10% of our database should be coming out of here. Okay, so 10% of our database or 10% of our business should be coming out of our database. Here's what I ask of all of my coaching clients. I'm going to ask you to do the same thing. And what I'll do is I want you to look at your phone. You look at your phone, you scroll to the bottom, look at the number of contacts that you have. Whatever that number is, you're going to cut it in half. Why are we going to cut it in half? We're just trying to get them. That's all we're trying to do. Okay. And in your phone, you go through, you identify that there's 842 contacts, cut it in half. That's going to be 421. What am I getting at? We get the 10% rule. We go into, we multiply that 421 times 10%. That's going to give us about a number of 42. Why is this number so important? Because that's how much business you have the capabilities of capturing out of that particular source. This is the reason why I invest so much time with my coaching clients on this particular topic. It's a topic, but it is one of the more robust. And when I talk to a typical coaching client, similar to what I just mentioned right there, I ask them, hey, how did you do last year in 2025 with your database? Oh, coach, I did great. Awesome. How many deals did you do? Well, I did 8 deals out of there. Okay, cool. Awesome. That is really good. Where else did you get business from? Well, I did 4 from open houses. I got 1 signed call. I got 2 from door knocking, and I got 1 from my lender referral. And then I got, 3 from whatever. I ended up doing 16 deals. Wow, that's awesome. That's great amount of business. But let's go back to the original question in regards to the database. How many deals did you get out of that? Eight. How many people do you have in your contact? Blah, 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 blah. And then we identified that there's opportunity of 42 deals. Hmm. Okay. And then we're wondering, what is it that we need to do? Again, we're going to continue to break that down. Okay. But that's something that I want to make sure you guys understand this. Now, as a coach, I don't focus solely on the database, but it is one of the larger pieces of the puzzle, along with the schedule, along with the skills, which is what we're working on here today. Okay. Now, in this, why 10%? It's just a goal. Okay. It's just a general rule of the people that I've coached in the past. It gives us a target. Okay. And I've had some coaching clients that have been coached for 10, 12, 15 years, and their previous coaches didn't help them break this down. They just knew that they were calling their database, they were capturing business from their database, and they were doing good business, as the example that I just gave you. But then we start to realize the example that I give, it's just kind of like getting a chicken leg, taking a bite out of that chicken leg and then throwing it away. That's kind of what ends up happening with most agents' database. There's still a lot more meat left on that bone. So, what do we do with the people we haven't spoken with in a while? We want to make sure we reach out to them. This is with what I call as the reconnection. And in that reconnection, it is a very specific script. And we're going to go over that here in just a little bit. Now, in that reconnection script, it is vital because there is nothing worse than calling somebody you haven't spoken with in 5, 10, or even 15 years. And you go through and you say, Joe, hey, it's Robert. Hey, who do you know of that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? You don't know of anybody? All right, man. Well, hey, I'll check back with you in about 3 months. That's weak. Okay. Because what is Joe going to do? Joe's going to be like, dude, I haven't spoken to you in like 10 years. Okay. I haven't spoken to you in like 10 years. Now you're calling for business. Right. So I know I'm having a little bit of trouble. I am working from home today. I do apologize about the not so great connection. Hang in there. Ask away. I'll repeat it. Okay. So Maria's asking, so 10% of the total number of contacts is number of opportunities. Yes. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that 10% of those people are going to do something. I'm saying 10% of those people know someone. Okay. So in your case, Maria, what I would recommend is you go to your phone, you look at the number of contacts, you cut it in half, and then we just come up with a very generic number. Now, this is an exercise I do with my clients in about 30 seconds. This does not solve the problem because the next thing I'm going to ask of you to do, Maria, is again, past clients, family, friends, associates, and vendors. I'm going to ask of you to put all of those people in an Excel spreadsheet. And when you come up with that list, you're going to realize you have 242 people. Well, it's not accurate. Okay, but at least we have a better starting point than the wild guess of the first thing that I just mentioned. Now, of that, I'm going to ask you to take one step further. You're now going to separate the husband and the wives as two separate entries. So now that 242 turns into 312. Okay. Now, you don't have a relationship with every last spouse, which is the reason I said it's not, 100% more. It's probably be about 30, 40% more. So now from there, is it accurate? Probably not. It's probably about 70, 80% accurate, but at least you have a better starting point, which is that third point. But we also have our social media. Now think about it. Okay. Your friends from high school, your coworkers, all of these people that you have lost connection with, all this thing through, you start to bring some of these people back and you go, wait a minute. So based on what I did with Robert, I got to 242. I added the spouses. Now I'm at 312. Now I'm going through my Facebook. I now have 343. Then I go through my Instagram. Oh my gosh, there's another 30 people. Now I'm at 370 some people. And then I go through my TikTok. There's maybe about 10 or 12 people there. Well, next thing you know, you have 400 people from your original starting point. So that's what I want you to do. And then from there, you have a number that's going to gauge how much business you should capture, that 10%, Maria. Okay. So this is the exercise that I want you to go after. Okay. And again, I have videos out there. Go on my YouTube. If you guys haven't been on my YouTube, you guys make sure you guys go there. You can get more information in regards to that. Or just send me a direct message via Instagram. All right. Now let's talk a little bit about those of you, because I know there are a variety of people are joining here this morning and every morning, which again I appreciate. But what about those of you that have staff? Okay, what about those of you that have an assistant or two or a buyer's agent? I'm going to ask of you to do the exact same thing. In the 26 years in the business, I've had an assistant probably 20 plus of those years. Yes, the largest percentage of that has been my sister. So her database is literally 98% of my database, but she wasn't the only assistant I ever had. Okay. I've almost always had a second and in some cases even a third assistant. And then as a broker, I had staff working for me, 10, 12 people on the staff. I'm going to ask you to do have them do the exact same thing. Okay. Now, here's the mastery of it. For those of you that have an assistant, a personal assistant, okay, I'm going to give you guys a quick little trick. This is awesome. Listen. So I say you got to call them 4 times a year. You're doing your job. Okay. You're calling them 4 times a year. I also ask of you to 4 times a year to email and to snail mail them. Okay, so you're doing your job, you're doing it exactly like clock. But again, as staff person, I'm going to ask to have your staff person do an additional 2 more calls. And I'm even going to ask you to do 2 more calls. So these people are going to get 8 calls over the course of the year. Oh my gosh, Robert, that is a lot. No, not necessarily. Because here's what's happening. What's happening is I'm calling them in January. Hey, what's going on? This last year in 2025, we had an 8% decrease in terms of value of homes. What that means is that in your area, 500,000, unfortunately, you lost about $30,000 in value. My question to you, expecting a rebound this year, who do you know of that's looking to buy, sell, or invest this year that unfortunately lost that equity, that is wanting to be in a position to take advantage of when the market starts to come back around? Then I call back again, January, February, March, April. I call back in April. Hey, in April, oh my gosh, the interest rates are crazy. I know back in January, there were five and change, 5.8, 5.9, and just under 6%. Well, now, believe it or not, we're in the low fives. Who do you know that wants to take advantage of this? So on and so forth, right? And then they have a birthday. I give them a call for their birthday. Okay. I go through, hey, just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Happy birthday plan. Hopefully you got a drink in your hands, or if they're not drinkers, hey, hopefully you're celebrating and enjoying your birthday. Okay. And then I go through, then I go in another business call. I'm going to give them a call. I don't know what, I already lost track. Let's say August. And in August, I'm now going to give them a call and say, hey, have your, I've been calling everybody because I'm creating a vendors list. And I know that you have a baking business. I'd love the opportunity to promote your business. Would you be okay if I put you on my VIP list? I send this out to all of the people in my database, and I want to be able to promote your business. Or should I actually have them contact you out? Do you have social media? Do you have a phone number? You prefer me to do that? Awesome. Hey, thank you. And by the way, who do you know that is in the market right now looking to buy, sell, or invest? Okay. And then I give them another call in, let's say, for example, the beginning of November. And in November, I just go through and I talk about the benefits of a trust as an example. Okay. And then the holidays call. Hey, just want to take a minute to say thank you so much for being on my circle, so on and so forth. So as you see, I called them 6 times, 4 of them about business, 2 of them about personal. One of them was about their birthday. The other one was a holiday one. But I talked about also the staff. What the staff is going to do, and here's the benefit of it, the staff is going to do, give them a call and ask 2 questions. So I'm now Robert's assistant. I'm Bobby, and Bobby gives them a call. Joe, hey, this is Bobby. I'm calling on behalf of your realtor, Robert Villanueva. Yeah, he asked me to reach out to you as a courtesy to see if there were any real estate questions or anything we could be of help to. No? Awesome. Great. Also asked me to ask you a second question. Who do you know right now that is looking to buy, sell, or invest that we should be of assistance to? You don't know of anybody? Well, hey, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. See you later. And they do that 2 times a year. And all we're doing is just putting another line in the water. And next thing you know, before you know it, you are going to get the random, hey, I'm so glad you called, Bobby. I've been meaning to reach out to Robert. Can you tell him to call me? And I would get one or two of these a month. Okay. So I'm going to encourage you, for those of you guys that do have staff, to yeah, to have them do this. Any questions, any comments, any concerns? I'm going to share the script here. As I mentioned, I want to get deeper and heavier. And again, I do apologize. I have all of this congestion going on, which is absolutely yummy. And I'm a little bit foggy brained, but we're going to continue to push forward. Any questions that I can address? Andrew, do we have anything on the social media platforms? All right. So I'm going to share script here now. And the whole purpose of this is to be in a position where we can roll the questions. Super gross, but we all know with it, right? All right. Volunteers, here we go. So I'm going to share script now. Question for you is, who wants to be our first participant? Who wants to go first? Participation, people.
I can go.
Let's go. Let's do it. All right, Shelly. We're doing the reconnection. So we haven't spoken in about 4 or 5 years. And then have at it. I'm ready when you are.
Okay, ring ring.
Hello.
Hello, hi, Robert. This is Shelly. Do you have a minute for me?
Oh, hey, Shelly. What's going on? I haven't spoken in a while.
I know, I know. I was just calling because I was going through my phone and I noticed that you and I have not spoken for about 100 years. And the last thing I wanted to do was just send you some random text to connect. So I was just calling, simply checking in, how you guys doing?
Yeah, thanks for the call. I mean, yeah, it has been a minute. We obviously lost connection here for a little bit. Yeah, speaking of connection, internet connection too. But we're good. Thank you for the call.
Yeah, 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 you're welcome. Yeah, we have lost connection. It has been a little bit. And so what's new? What's new with the house? How's the family? Are you commuting to the Bay Area?
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit of a times because the commute some days it's not too bad. It's only 20 minutes, but other days, as you know, it can be 40, 45 minutes. And yeah, that gets a little annoying over, an extended period of time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so it can be about 45 minutes.
Mhm.
Did you get caught up in that gnarly, like 5 or 6 hour shutdown of the freeway a couple months ago?
And no, unfortunately, I kind of missed out on that, but I did hear about it. That was super duper crazy, that's for sure.
For sure, yeah, totally it was. I'm glad you missed it. Well, that sounds great. And how's the
Mhm.
house? I know you said you wanted to update the flooring and paint when you bought it. How did you get the floors
Mhm.
in?
Oh yeah, we got that in right away. I mean, we actually got that done almost before we even moved in. Um, and man, that was a little bit of a project. I was not expecting it to take more than 2 weeks, and we ended up being in a hotel for almost a month. That kind of was a little bit unexpected, but hey, we're past that. All is peachy.
Oh my gosh, a month. You guys are in a
Yeah.
hotel for a month? That's
Well, the
crazy.
kids
Well,
loved it. It's because yeah, the kids loved it because it was kind of a little bit of, like a vacation. They were enjoying the pool. It was during the heat of the summer, so they were kind of enjoying it. I knew that there was going to be a little bit of a sacrifice, but I figured 2 weeks max, and next thing you know, it was almost a whole month.
yeah, yeah, 2 weeks max, so almost a
Mm.
month, and I mean, definitely
Yeah.
worth the sacrifice, and you're past that, so that's
Mm.
good. So you're enjoying the house. Well, I just wanted to take a minute to reconnect with you, and also get your
Mhm.
permission to just to
Mhm.
kind of check in with you, 3, 4 times a year, and just kind of give you some updates as to what's going on with the real estate market. Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know that we've toyed around with the idea of doing something here, not too, excuse me, not too far from now. But we're not ready yet. So we are thinking about doing something maybe in the next year or two.
In the next year or two. So you guys have been toying with the idea. Okay, where are you guys
Yeah.
thinking about going next?
Probably just a little bit closer, not too much closer, maybe just 10, 15 minutes closer to, to the city. But we do know it's a little bit costlier, but like I mentioned, the commute has been a little bit of a nuisance. So, and they end up doing that whole bridge, narrowing it down to a lane or two. That's not fun. So,
No, no, that isn't fun. Okay.
mhm.
So you said a couple years. What's important about a couple years?
Probably we would just want to enjoy, a couple more years here at the house with where we're at.
Yeah, that
And
makes
just kind of
sense.
take advantage. Yeah, just kind of take advantage too of a little bit of the payment because we know once we move, it's going to probably be a little bit more. We do have our oldest one. I don't know if you remember our oldest one, but she's going to be finishing high school here this school year, so we wouldn't be doing it this year, any earlier.
Not this year, yeah, because of the
Yeah,
school thing. So
yeah,
you're kind of locked down. Okay. All
mhm,
right, great.
yeah.
Well, before I let you go, are there any real estate questions I can answer for you?
No, I mean, I see the interest kind of down a little bit. I mean, is what's the rumors on them? Are they expecting to still continue to go down?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Mm,
I was just reading an article about that, and
mm,
I mean, I'm not a teller. I wish I had better news, but they said they're not the article I was reading was saying no, they're not. So we
mm.
can. They're not. Yeah, yeah. Or
Okay.
we could have massive inflation. That's great. You want to be paying $20 for a pack of gum? So we
Hey,
will
well,
see. We will see. Yeah, I mean, if the interest rates do start
mm,
going down, would that make you want to move sooner rather than later? Because I know you have,
I'll,
someone in school.
yeah, I'll tell you what, Shelley. I think probably the earliest would be maybe September. That would be probably the absolute earliest. But again, like I said, we're not really in a rush. Um, and if I come across anybody, I'll let you know. But just kind of check in.
Yeah, yeah, because I know you're not in a rush, and yeah, I'll
Mhm.
definitely check in.
Yeah.
It was great reconnecting with you. So
Mhm.
I'll talk to you in a few months, and then the meantime, I send out a newsletter to all my favorite people. So I send it via
Mhm.
email and regular mail. Which way would be better for you?
Either way is fine. We're totally open to it.
Either way, okay. Well, email it to you. There's
Hmm.
always a mortgage market update in that, and yeah, I'll talk to you in a few months. Thanks for taking the call. Have
Yeah.
a great rest of your week.
All right. Sounds good. All right, Shelly. What do you think you did?
Fine.
I think you did great. I really loved it. I'm sure they could have been a little bit cleaner. It's always a little bit of a challenge when we're doing the role play because it's kind of I don't know exactly the role that this person is supposed to be playing. So there was a little bit of that, but it can come across a little bit cleaner in terms of the questions. The because you can kind of preface it a little bit. Hey, so kind of with what you did. So I know you guys have been in your house now for X number of years. How's the house been for you guys, which you did a job of? But and then starting to get into those secondary questions, just being a little bit more, genuine. Maybe bring in the spouse. How's the wife? Again, I know you had two kids when we met. I know one was a little bit old. Anything from that direction, anything that we can do, because that's what really creates the genuineness in that part of the conversation.
Hmm.
Um, and then towards the end, as far as the interest rate is concerned, you're going to get asked that question. So you got to practice that. That's one thing that I would do. As of right now, from with what I'm hearing, and the key is to be able to say it confidently. As of right now, with what I'm hearing, I'm not certain, but I'll keep an eye on them. And if they do dip to a certain amount, will help you make a decision in making a move. Well, probably. Okay, is there like a certain interest rate you're waiting for or something like that? No, not really. I guess I'm just kind of curious. Well, hey, I'm going to check in with you every 3 or 4 months anyways, and I can give you some updates then. Would that be okay with you? So now that I do the opportunity to simply enforce with what you're trying to accomplish. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Okay. But overall, I think that was really good. I love how genuine your tone is. I love how sincere the conversation was. We obviously didn't know because you don't know what character Robert is going to be. It does always help when we have what's it called knowing who the person is, because when we look at the directory of the people that we're calling, and I'm calling Sally, and I know Sally, dogs and she loves her dogs, and then she's got two older kids, both of them in high school, and then her husband is running a motorcycle business. I have topics of conversation I can talk to them about, so we just want to know a little bit in advance, and this is not so much of a Shelley specific response, this is more
Yeah,
of a
my
general
my
response.
hardest part, maybe you could talk about it some other time, is when you start like hemming and hawing, like you're delaying like your kids in school. But like I
Mm,
feel like
mm,
I'm getting mixed messages, so I'm like, okay, well, that when you know that part of it when you're hemming and hawing, and then I'm kind of like tend I have
mm,
a tendency to kind of go along with it. Or I mean, I know I do say if the interest rates go down to X, when you're ready to take a move, I can say that. But I
yeah,
feel like that's where I can improve more in dealing in cope. I don't know what the right word is, but coping or riding that hem and
yeah.
ha roller coaster.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of a little bit of what I'm saying in regards, you don't know the character that I'm going to play, but when you go and call Joe Sanchez, and you call Joe Sanchez and you know exactly what is his trigger points, that's going to help a lot of that genuine curiosity with what I'm asking of everybody to do. Because if they're a Niners fan, hey, by the way, did you watch the Niners game on, so on and so forth? I'm not a Niners fan, but you can kind of tie that in. Oh my gosh, it was awesome. Did you watch the play? And now you're like, no, I just heard they won. And so, but that allows the opportunity for us to be genuine. And I think the key that I want to share with the audience as a whole is understanding, if you see the very last thing is, let's make sure we do not exceed the 10 minutes, which you didn't, Shelley, but let's make sure we don't exceed that 10 minutes. Because I think I know Beatrice, we went through that scenario where she was on a call for, I think, 25 minutes or 35 minutes with somebody. Don't do that. Okay. Because when you call them again in April, they're going to look at the phone and they're going to go, oh my gosh, Robert called me and I don't want to have another 25, 35-minute call. So you have to keep it within that 10 minutes. Okay. So, any questions, any comments, any concerns? So we're going to go ahead and wrap that up. I do apologize about the internet connection, my congestion.
Robert,
As, good.
hey Robert, it's Beatrice. Sorry you're sick.
Mm, it's okay.
So as we're doing these calls, and
Mm,
let's say people really, they bought in the last year, so they're still kind of enjoying their home. Would it
yeah.
be appropriate to obviously stay connected, but
Mm,
also share some other tips like, hey, are you guys planning to put that in a living trust, or have you,
yeah.
just to either share expanded network or kind of keep them on the next phase in the time, like still bringing value basically in the time that we're
Yeah.
checking in with them.
Yes, absolutely. The only thing though is that what I don't want you to do, Beatrice, because in answering your question, I don't want to lead you down the wrong path. Is yes, you do want to be able to lead them in the right direction, but what I don't want happening is where you're picking different topics for the different people. If it's the one time because you see the opportunity, I know that you are worthy of being in a trust. I don't want to wait until core of 27 to give you that benefit. I can give it to you now. Plus, what I'm telling everybody, 100% of everybody on that one topic, which it could be the interest rate, it could be the status of the market, could be whatever those things are. But you're going to pick one topic and call 100% of everybody on that. And then all of a sudden, I look through and I see Beatrice and I say, oh my gosh, I completely forgot to follow up with her about the trust. I'll give you that information as a secondary value. Does that make sense?
No, I'm trying to understand that. Like when you say like,
Okay.
yeah, let's say I pick that topic all the way across the board, right?
Yes.
But
So
I don't get the second part.
so here's what we're gonna do. So right now I'm calling my entire database and I'm giving them the yearly update. The yearly update is from January 1st of 2025, December 31st, 2025 market. The market went down by 8%. So I'm telling 100%, I'm telling 432 people about the yearly updates. But and then I come up with Beatrice's name. Now that I tell you about the yearly update, I go, oh my gosh, I forgot to tell Beatrice I sold her the home last year, and I forgot to tell her or follow up with her about the trust. I'm gonna say, and as well, Beatrice, besides the yearly updates of the 8% market drop, I all right. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
There we go. Again, I do apologize. I'm going to be in the office tomorrow. I promise all of you guys that. So I'm gonna go back to the top. So I'm calling 100% of everybody. I'm telling them about the yearly update. I'm going through. I'm calling Andrew. I'm calling Chanel. I'm calling Luz. I'm calling Maria. I'm calling Monica. I'm calling Shelly. I'm calling Young. I'm calling them and telling them about the yearly update. And then I look at Beatrice's name and I go, oh my gosh, completely forgot to tell her about the trust and the benefits of the trust when we last spoke about 9 months ago. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to give you the yearly update. And I'm also, as well, going to tell you about the trust. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so stay on topic for what you're doing, and that's a secondary benefit. I get it now.
Correct. Okay, awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Again, we're going to be back on track. I'm going to be way better, God willing. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's have a great one. I'll talk to you guys soon.